The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
You walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Ball is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this trying to be the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. So much crying from him. He's a man. He can be a hit just like this. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm not when you step on the field, man. That's who I do. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You haven't worked in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Oh, no, this game is not over. It's just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, streaming live, kyokradio.org, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Roku. That's right. If you got a Roku streaming device or Roku TV, download B as in boy, S as in Sam, the number 3 network, and you will find the lunch break right in the middle of some great shows on BS3 TV. So, again, I want to thank Ben Sutter III for allowing us to be a part of the BS3 TV network. All right, it is Throwback Thursday. We got a lot we're going to talk about today. In fact, I've got a good friend, very special guest, frat brother, who is part of the Cincinnati Bengals network that will be joining us in this hour. We'll find out what's happening in Who Day Nation, and we'll do that. Then Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, will join us as well. So all you got to do is stick and stay. The number to dial if you want to get in, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000, or you can text me, 832-403-5005, 832-403-5005, or email aj@kylksports.com, aj@kylksports.com. Boy, there's a lot to talk about. Stephen Ross, owner of the Miami Dolphins, says he welcomes the investigation and says he has not done anything wrong, and that the allegations that he was willing to pay Brian Flores $100,000 per loss to throw games is just not true. Where Brian Flores is concerned, I'm not talking about anybody else, Hugh Jackson. I'm not talking about anybody else. I feel like Brian Flores has some receipts. I feel like he's got evidence that backs up what he's talking about, or else we wouldn't be where we are with this lawsuit. And I'm talking about more than just the Bill Belichick text messages. I feel like Brian Flores has the goods on Stephen Ross, as well as has some corroborating witnesses who will attest to what he's saying. If that be the case, Stephen Ross is toast. There is no way they can allow Stephen Ross to maintain ownership of that team if what is being alleged is true. No way. As I said yesterday, this is as bad as the bounty situation in New Orleans. This is as bad as Pete Rose betting on baseball. This is as bad as New England videotaping the Rams practice. This is as bad as all of that, if not worse, because now you are messing with the integrity of the outcome and the legitimacy of the games. And oh yeah, by the way, the NFL has new partners. Caesars and DraftKings and other casinos involved with the NFL and betting. I'm just telling you, that part right there could be earth-shattering. We could be looking at another Donald Sterling situation if that's the case. No way you can let this man stay in ownership if he has in fact done that. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. All right, let me take my first break. If you want in, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000, or text me, 832-403-5005. It's the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
If you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt, then listen up. We can reduce or eliminate your interest rates. Cut your monthly payment up to 50% and stop all late fees. Our company has been helping good people just like you get out of debt for over 30 years. Don't get stressed out. If you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt and medical bills, we can show you a way to reduce all of your bills to one lower monthly payment that you can afford. So again, if you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt and medical bills you can't afford, make this free call today and learn how you can finally get out of debt. Call now for your free consultation. 800-638-7112. 800-638-7112. 800-638-7112. That's 800-638-7112. Sponsored by Credit Card.
How is your car payment treating you? What if I told you you could make a free phone call right now and reduce your car payment by as much as $83 a month? Look at your car payment closely. You could be paying as high as 20% interest. Rate Genius can help you reduce your car payments by reducing your interest rate to as low as 2.48% APR. We can refinance most existing car loans or leased cars, new or used, and save you money every month. Put more money back in your pocket. The call is free to find out how low we can lower your car payment. 5 minutes of your time right now could save you hundreds of dollars a year. Call Rate Genius now.
800-811-4169. 800-811-4169. 800-811-4169. That's 800-811-4169.
Not allowed to qualify for a loan or rate savings. Actual offer terms including APR are determined at the time of your application based on creditworthiness, value of the vehicle, loan term, and other factors.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-472-5145. 800-472-5145. 800-472-5145. That's 800-472-5145.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
I'm Jacqueline Carr, and here is your winning strategy. When Jesus' parents were on their way home from Jerusalem for the feast of the Passover. They found that he was not with him. They went back to look for him and found that he was in the temple. His mother told him that they had been looking for him and he must come with them. Even though he was king, the bread of life, the great I am, Alpha and Omega, Jehovah Jireh, Savior, Lord, God still obeyed his parents. He could have said, I'm God, I'm Savior of the earth, creator of all things. But he was obedient to his parents and he left with them. And by him doing that, he found favor with God and man. I believe that Jesus did this to be an example to not just young people, but people all across the world. That despite how old you are, you still have to follow the order of obedience.
At my very first audition, my parents told me I was standing on the shoulders of giants. Now, I'm proud to honor that legacy as McDonald's introduces 22 dynamic Black leaders with the passion, talent, and desire for real change in our community. From an expert in Black sign language to a mental wellness advocate and more. Join me, Kiki Palmer, as McDonald's showcases the young giants who are creating a better tomorrow today. Follow us on Instagram at We Are Golden.
This is Irma J from Internal Revamp, and you're listening to AJ on the lunch break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We stream live, kyokradio.org, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Roku. Let me go to the phone line real quick. Hello, sir. You are live on the lunch break. Who's this?
AJ, Keith, man.
Hey, Keith, what's going on, brother?
Hey, brother, how you feel? Look, man, I'm originally from Houston, right?
Yep.
And I listened to the program the other day. He had a talented young brother on there, Will Williams. He needs to be in the NFL. He made a lot of plays for you, baby. It's amazing that he's not in the league now. But he that has been made. You talked about Flores, right?
Yeah.
Another fact.
Yeah.
Now, look, since the Rooney Rule was invented or put on the books, right? There have been 130, maybe I'm wrong here, right around 130 NFL head coaching spots. And about probably 14 or 15 with the Black coaches. Out of 130 openings in the last 20 years, 14 or 15 with the Black coaches. Now, the other piece of that is we talked about Magic Johnson and these other Black guys who millionaires and billionaires getting ownership. What you don't realize, what people don't realize, is there are internal rules in place and policies in place that prevent Black ownership in every group. Now, there's exceptions to the rule. If you're big in that location, Magic Johnson's big in LA, so he can get part of the Dodgers. Mike is big in North Carolina, so he can get Hornets, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, and Derek Jeter got part of Miami, right? The Mark, right?
Yep.
He's a Hall of Famer. Mike's a Hall of Famer. Magic's a Hall of Famer. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You got to be diligent to bring the white boy bankers into the equation, to get the loan, and then make your proposal. Now, people don't understand that this the system is they have when I say policy or rules or guidelines and bylaws. And NFL owners have bylaws.
Yep.
That prevent Black ownership. Let me tell you how. Myself and 3 friends of mine put together a proposal to buy a minor league baseball team, right? A few years ago.
Okay.
Up here in Maryland.
Okay.
In Maryland. And we had the funding, we had everything in place. We had the owner of the minor league team wanted to sell it. And we came in, we negotiated a piece with them. Well, I wasn't there. They negotiated on my behalf in a blah, blah, blah. And they actually came to an agreement. When it went to Major League Baseball to be ratified, the owners turned it down through their representatives. The owners, Major League Baseball owners, turned down our agreement to buy that team. Right?
Yep.
Now, let me tell you how that works. You need, it's what we call the Jackie Robinson rule. And Branch Rickey in 1947 his own, through disagreement with other major league owners, to bring in this black player. And now it's time to change. Maybe they put in bylaws and rules so that could never happen again. We'll get the will of the majority.
Yeah, you typically have to have 2/3 of the owners to approve the vote, even in ownership.
Right, there you go. And so what people don't know is that 2/3 already practice what I call economic apartheid. They don't want a black member in that club, select club, or black members in those clubs. That ownership club, I mean.
Yeah. What's interesting is the Denver Broncos are for sale, and they have gone to some type of auction. I'm using that word, but I don't have the exact terminology. So on this particular way that they've gone for sale, the NFL has to take, or I'm sorry, the selling owners have to take the highest bid, and
Right.
Whoever has the highest bid has to put up 35% of that bid in liquid assets, not in loans, not in we gonna have it, not promissory notes, but in actual cash money.
Right.
And then from there, it still has to be ratified by 2/3 of the existing owners in the NFL. And like you were saying, at any point, this thing could get shot down.
It's a torpedo. And that's been historically the case. Now, you've had black people with the money. You've had black people that have been part of other groups and say, you need to partner with so-and-so. You partner with these 2 guys, these 3 guys, blah, blah, blah. And y'all need to come together as a group because we want that guy to be an owner. And so since you 2 or 3 guys are going to be the money men with him, we're going to use his face. You see? Now, that's what typically happens. A lot of times, a lot of these athletes, Derek Jeter ain't got $1 billion to buy the Marlins.
Right.
And so, but you got to have 2 or 3 guys behind the scenes that's going to, shepherd the loan through the banking, the money through the banking loan process and other aspects.
Yeah.
You got to have 2 or 3 guys that can work with these existing owners,
Right.
but they don't feel alienated or threatened by.
Right.
Right. And so, and you speak their language.
Yeah. Archie Manning, Peyton Manning, and Eli are reportedly interested in buying the Denver Broncos. They are more than likely going to get that because I don't know when Archie became the godfather of the NFL, but Archie got some backup. I'll say it at that, backup.
I mean, now the business of America is business, and what black people miss out on is you're not focusing on business; you're focusing on athletics.
Yeah. Hey, Keith, I hate to do this, man. You're going to have to call me again another time so we can finish the discussion. My special guest from Cincinnati has joined me. I got to bring him on, but I enjoy your conversation, man. Do me a favor. Call me again. All right, man. All right, y'all. Listen, without further ado, let me get in this brother right here. He is my frat brother. He is a good brother. He is none other than Wayne Box Miller. Look, pregame, halftime, and postgame host of the Cincinnati Bengals network. Man, how you doing, Box?
What's up, good brother, man? Thanks for having me aboard. Shout out to the noobs down there, man.
Brother, listen, we down here trying to do it like y'all doing it up there in the Midwest, man. You been good?
We making it work. We making it work.
All right, listen, I know Stormageddon was coming y'all's way with a bunch of ice and all that, man. Y'all still hanging in there, though, right?
Yeah, it was just a sheet of ice on the road, man. I mean, literally, I looked out the window and there was like ice. So I turned around, grabbed a cup of coffee, and hit the laptop and hit the recliner.
Yeah, people don't understand. We know how to drive in snow up there, but, man, you just can't do a whole lot on ice. Ice is ice.
Hey, man, you just stay home.
That's it. Well, Wayne Box Miller, we got you, man, and I'm glad to have you, brother. What does it feel like for the Bengals to be back in the Super Bowl for the first time in 33 years?
Wow, man, I tell you, it's still surreal in a lot of respects. I actually went to the second Super Bowl in Miami because I was representing some of the players back then. So, for me to have this second opportunity is a blessing, first of all, man. I'm very grateful, very thankful, but the city is just coming undone because you got to remember a lot of people were not even born the last time that this team went to a Super Bowl, but the energy is real. This team is legit. They're not there by accident. You don't accidentally get to the Super Bowl. And they've got the right ingredients to finish it off.
Yeah, I was on another person's podcast the other night after, the Bengals made it to the Super Bowl, and they asked me what I thought about Cincinnati. My question was, when can you count them out?
Right.
If you can sack Joe Burrow 9 times and he still finds a way to win, if they can be down by 18 points to Kansas City and still find a way to win, when can you count them out?
You can't. I mean, this team has a chemistry built on authentic relationships. They genuinely like each other. But I've said this, obviously I've been doing a lot of interviews since this happened. You got to remember, this team beat the Las Vegas Raiders twice.
Right.
They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers twice.
Right.
They beat the Baltimore Ravens twice. And they beat the Kansas City Chiefs twice, all this season. So throw luck out the window. This team is good. They play well together. I think the most amazing part is when you look at the free agents they bought in over the last 2 years and then bringing in Jamar Chase this year, Joe Burrow last year, for them to come together with all those new pieces and parts really is a credit to Zach Taylor and the organization.
Yeah, we got Wayne Box Miller. He does pre, halftime, and post-game show for the Cincinnati Bengals Network, and I appreciate you joining us on the lunch break. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I wasn't excited about the Zach Taylor hire. I mean, that was during that wave when dudes were getting a job. If they say, listen, I bumped up next to Sean McVay. I shook hands with Sean McVay. Sean McVay threw some sweat on me and it touched me. Get jobs like that. And I'm like, man, I don't know this dude. I don't know nothing about him. And he didn't start off very well, but they are definitely there now. What has he brought to the organization that we're now seeing in wins?
I think the number one thing he's bringing is relatability to younger players.
Okay.
The game has changed a lot, man. If you look over the last 10 years at the way this game has changed, it is a pass-happy league. Yeah. NFL used to be based on running that rock, just grinding it out, and then you do a little play action and get the ball down the field or at least go vertical. But now, man, these teams, man, the way they're throwing the ball now fits what he does, what he knows. But I think it's the chemistry, and I think to his credit, I have a lot of respect for Zach, primarily based on one statement he made this year. He said, I recognize that if I was on another team, if I started 2-14 and 4-12, I may not have a job. But Mike Brown stood beside him, believed in his vision. And I think a lot of people were wondering, well, wait a minute, this guy's not been an offensive coordinator in the NFL. He's not been a head coach in the NFL. He's had football experience. And there were a lot of guys we all thought were next in line from opportunity standpoint. But 3 years later, it appears to be the right call. And you talk to every player on this team, Dre, and they just love the guy. They love how he believes in them, connects with them, relates to them. And as I said, right, wrong, or indifferent, he's a younger coach and it's a younger game.
Man, I got to tell you, I love the energy. When I hear Joe Burrow say, listen, get used to this. This is who we are. This is not luck. When I hear that kicker, man, who is like, I guess we going to the AFC Championship game now. I love that swag. It's not too over the top. It's not in your face. It's not brash or disrespectful. It's just young guys who believe in what they have together as a team, man. Talk about some of these players and how they've been handling it.
Well, I asked Zach about that as well as many other media people. Zach had a very interesting comment about that. He said, when you prepare as well as they do, when you put in the time that they do, you're comfortable when the moment comes.
Yeah.
The moment isn't too big because you put the work in.
Right.
I think that's symbolic of all of these guys, man. They put the work in. They work hard in practice. They push each other. I was telling someone earlier, you had offensive guys and defensive guys going at it in training camp, not because there was this adversarial environment. It was, I'm going to make you better by challenging you in practice every day and vice versa. So some of their hardest plays are going up against each other in practice. Chidobe Awuzie, who Dallas Cowboys had, he's making practice tough for Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Right.
Tyler is making life tough for Chidobe Awuzie and Eli Apple. And these guys are just pushing each other. So, it's almost like when you play on a team that's really good, you typically say, our practices are harder than the game because of the guys who we work out against. And I think this is really the case with these guys, with Evan McPherson, or as we call him, Money Mac or Shooter McPherson, whatever his name is. The players admittedly said they tried to rattle him when he came to the team. Nothing fazed the guy.
Man, I got to tell you, we got Wayne Boxmiller joining us here on the show. He does halftime and post game hosts a show there with the Cincinnati Bengals TV network. And man, I do, brother. I have so much excitement about this because my dad made me a Cincinnati Bengal fan. Growing up in Forest Park, made me a Bengals fan. He took me to that San Diego Charger playoff game where it's 52 below. And I wasn't no little kid, but I was like, Dad, I want to go home, man. I want to go home. And then to see the heartbreaks that they had in those two previous Super Bowls, I really wanted San Francisco to get there so we could finally exercise those demons. But now they've got a legitimate shot to beat this LA Rams team. How do you think they will do that if they get it done?
Well, first and foremost, number one, you have to minimize, not contain, because you can't contain him. You have to minimize Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
He's a one-man wrecking crew. It takes more than one person to be on him, which frees up somebody's. That's number one. You got to minimize Aaron Donald. Number two, you can't get outside yourself. Al McGuire, the old coach at Marquette in basketball, used to say you got to dance with the one that brought you here.
Right.
So, do what you do best. On the other side of the ball, Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham are going to be challenges. But again, if this defense can handle the wide receivers and tight ends of the Kansas City Chiefs and their explosive offense, they can match up with LA as well. And then in special teams, McPherson just has to do what he does. But I think the number one thing is you got to keep Aaron Donald off of Joe Burrow. And whether you keep a back end, whether you put an extra tight end in and slide the line a little bit. But the other thing is Aaron Donald moves around the line of scrimmage. Yeah. So he's not going to be in one place all day. You just have to know where he is and have the right protection packages in place.
Yeah, Aaron Donald, and now that they've got Von Miller, who we're very familiar with down here in the Houston area because he went to A&M and was a wrecking crew in Denver when they won that Super Bowl there. Now they've got an extra problem, if you will. While you're focused on Aaron Donald, here comes Von Miller with the speed rush from the outside, and there you are, second and long. Can that offensive line hold up against those two guys?
Well, they did against Kansas City.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was concerned and said, he gave up 9 sacks. Well, they really didn't give up 9 sacks. They may have given up maybe 5, 6. Joe Burrow held the ball a couple of times too long. Admittedly, he'll tell you that. Zach Taylor would tell you that. You maybe missed a blocking assignment, maybe a halfback, or somebody didn't get that chip coming out of the backfield. But to turn around after that game and produce the way they did against Kansas City Chiefs, this offensive line just has to work in sync with Joe Burrow. Look for a lot of plays where he gets the ball out of his hand quickly, because that's how you neutralize an Aaron Donald. You don't give him time to get to the quarterback. You get the ball out of your hand. And you did mention Von Miller. I know he's not the Von Miller of old, but he's still Von Miller.
He's still Von Miller, right?
And what he needs is that explosive coming off the line of scrimmage, that explosiveness and that angle. Von can lean and get low. And when he comes around that edge, with that tomahawk, I mean, you just got to be aware of that guy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got Wayne Boxmiller joining us here. He does pregame, halftime, and postgame hosting for the Cincinnati Bengals radio network. And got a guy here who just sent to the question. He said, I've been a Cincinnati Bengals fan since the early 70s. Ask your guest how he thinks this team ranks with the other 2 Super Bowl teams.
Wow. Great question.
It really is. Yeah.
I think that this team is comparable because if you go back, I'll go back to the first team with the most recent team in 89-90. They had wide receivers. They had Chris Collinsworth, Eddie Brown, Tim McGee. They had the running backs. They had Ickey Woods and James Brooks. I mean, they had good defenders, Reggie Williams, anchor in the middle, and David Fulcher in the back with Eric E.T. Thomas. So they had a lot of those similar type players. They may have arguably had a better offensive line than this team has. But I would take Joe Burrow over Boomer Esiason any day. And I mean, Boomer's a great quarterback.
Right.
Joe Burrow is that dude, man. I mean, let's you guys are down in that SEC area. You've seen him play. I think the original team, Kenny Anderson is probably a guy that's underrated, should be in the Hall of Fame. Ken Riley should be in the Hall of Fame. That team was probably a good 11-man team. There weren't a lot of superstars except Isaac Curtis, who was way ahead of his time. And if you want some mind-blowing statistics, go look up the wide receiver statistics for Isaac Curtis playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. His yards per catch were phenomenal, and you were allowed as a defensive back to put your hands on the wide receiver all the way down the field or all the way through the route. So for him to average 17, 20 yards a catch with that kind of interference running every route is phenomenal. But I think as a unit, this team is just special, man. I don't know any other way to say, how do you bring in Trey Hendrickson and Riley Reeve this year and Larry Ogunjobi and last year Von Bell, and you draft Joe Burrow, and people said get Penei Sewell, but you get Jamar Chase. The chemistry is just unexplainable sometimes, man. As I say, sometimes God does stuff where only he can get credit for it. So the rest is
I love that. Wade Box Miller, he is pre-halftime and post-game host for the Cincinnati Bengals radio network. And one thing I like is these young guys don't blink. They don't blink. Bad play, they get back up, and they try to make another good play. They just don't blink. And, you know, I got to throw in the running game. I mean, how effective is that running game and the short passing out of the backfield game with P. Ryan and some of the other guys that they use?
You know, P. Ryan is probably one of the best weapons that people don't know about. And ask Kansas City. They found out about him this week, but we're not surprised because he runs hard. He's from Texas. He's from down that area. And he has the record in college football, at least he had it for a couple of years before it got broken, about like the rushing yardage in a game, something phenomenal, like 400 and some yards rushing. But he runs hard. And Joe Mixon, who's also an Oklahoma guy,
right,
feature back. But both of these guys together, man, they run hard. They break tackles. They both run downhill. And they're both shiftier and faster than people think. And that's where they cause problems. And both of them are good coming out of the backfield. Joe Mixon has great hands, man. I mean, this guy, if he runs a little wheel route or something like that, or just out in the flat and the ball's not perfectly thrown, he still has the ability to get his hands on the ball and then make a play. But they are going to pound you, man, and they're going to keep coming and coming and coming, and they don't blink. If they don't convert a third down, if they have a misstep here and there, they're so confident and they believe in each other so much, AJ, that they just look at each other like, we'll get the next play. We'll get the next play. They mean that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Somebody just called in. Let's see if we can take a phone call. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this calling?
Dr. Aki Davis, how you doing?
Aki Davis, how are you, sir?
Oh, man, good. How about yourself, brother?
I'm doing well. What you think about these Cincinnati Bengals' chance to win Super Bowl 56?
They got a good chance, AJ. Joe Burrow is the real deal.
Now, Dr. Aki Davis, I'm surprised to hear you say. Now, Box, I'm gonna have to call you offline and tell you about this brother right here. This is my brother. We ain't blood, but we from that spot, man. Aki, are you serious, man? You really think Cincinnati's got a shot?
Oh man, Joe Burrow, man, like against Tennessee, got sacked 9 times, no problem. He just kept getting back up, like Rocky said. Not how many times you hit. It hit. It's about how many times you get hit and keep coming. And he didn't that didn't bother him. And then like against Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was running around like a chicken with his neck cut off. Joe Burrow's not a scrambling quarterback. When it came money time, guess what Joe Burrow did? He put it on a Superman cake. He said, okay, I'm not a running quarterback. I always want to talk about Josh Allen and all these other people, Lamar Jackson and all this. He was running when he had to get the first down. That got serious. When you see him on the sideline, he's cool. He's a cool cat.
Yeah.
He's not looking worried. And the field goal kicker is ice. I mean, it's like the Bengals have a big time shot.
Yeah. Dr. Aki, thanks for the call, man. I'll be talking with you soon. All right, brother?
All right, brother.
All right. He's got a point, man. He's got a point because Joe Burrow literally broke Kansas City's back with those scrambles for first downs and keeping the clock rolling.
Yeah, now what happened was those would have been sacks in the Tennessee game.
Yeah.
Where he would have held that ball, waiting for someone to come open. I mean, credit Kansas City secondary for covering, but also you learn from week to week. And what he figured out was these guys are covered. I can't buy time in the AFC Championship game. I've got to use my legs. And that dual threat capability that people really don't give him credit for.
Right. He used that in LSU quite a bit too. He really did.
He has that dual threat capability. Obviously, he's not Lamar Jackson, but you don't have to be. You just have to do enough to move the chains.
Right.
I think in football, what people don't understand is football is moving the chains. That's all you want to do. You move the chains, you get a fresh set of downs, and go back to work. And what Joe Burrow did in those three or four scrambles, getting first down, quite honestly, he took the wind out of their sail because they thought they had him. One time they had him. He went up under the defender, I think Chris Jones, and was able to grab. I mean, if you're a defender, man, you're like, oh, come on, man. What else do I have to do?
Yeah. And I know Kris, man. And Kris was eaten up by that because that would have, given them what they needed right at that moment.
Possessions on that play.
Right. Yeah, definitely. We talked a lot about the offense. Tell me about the Cincinnati's defense. What do they need to do to make sure that Matthew Stafford doesn't get comfortable and get into a rhythm? And let me tell you, the Rams have a very nice running game as well.
Yes, they do. I think the one thing I'll say about Los Angeles Rams, and this is just my personal take on it, a lot of people are just extolling the virtues of Matthew Stafford and just all the stuff that he's done. But I remind people, Jared Goff got them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So unless he wins it, there is no improvement in the quarterback position. They brought him in for this game.
Yeah.
They did not bring him in for anything other than this game because they got there with the quarterback they had. That being said, you got to put pressure on him. You got Andrew Whitworth, who was drafted by the Bengals, played a number of years here and still going strong. He's got to contain Trey Hendrickson, but Trey Hendrickson has a high motor. And so we call them the H&H boys, Hendrickson and Hubbard. They both come off the edge with a lot of energy and speed and quickness. So they've got to get to Stafford, force him to get rid of the ball. They're used to him. They played against him before when he was with the Detroit Lions.
Right.
Secondly, the secondary, I would argue that we have the best tandem of safeties in the NFL with Von Bell and Jesse Bates. They've got to really protect that deep part of the field, right? That real estate is precious when you got an Odell Beckham that can get deep and a Cooper Kupp who always just seems to find a soft spot in the zone. You can't let them get behind you. If they catch something in front of you, that's fine, but don't let them get the yak. Those yards after catch, if they break a tackle and then hit a gear, it could be 7 points. And so you got to really keep everything in front of you. You got to get pressure on the quarterback. And to me, I think in any big game, AJ, you always have to win first down.
Yeah.
You got to put them in second and long and hopefully third and long or third and difficult, as I call it. But first down, it dictates that, man. If they get 1 or 2 yards on a first down or an incomplete pass, then it starts to shift toward the defense on that second down to really try to make them uncomfortable on that third down play. But with Hendrickson and Hubbard, and then in the middle, B.J. Hill, who stepped in admirably for Larry Ogunjobi, done a remarkable job. And DJ Reader, you guys know him from the Houston Texans. Let me tell you something.
I can't believe they let Reader go. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
What he did in Tennessee by himself, and I jokingly say he channeled Larry Ogunjobi into his body because he was basically doing the work of 2 men at the line of scrimmage. It was a work of art to see him stand up 2 linemen and basically manhandle them and get them off of him to make plays. And you can believe that he wants to do this again in the biggest game on the biggest stage because, as he said, he's been doubted all his life, man. And this is one of those moments to say, you doubt me no more.
Yeah. Wayne, let me tell you something. We got a thing down here in Houston where guys leave here, go somewhere else, and they win the chip. And nobody would be happier for DJ Reader doing that in Cincinnati, my hometown, than me, because he was a great guy here, just great on the team in that locker room. Was good to us in the media. So we would be real happy for DJ to get his chip up there in Cincinnati.
Super nice guy. I got to tell you, man, the day he signed up until today, because we had him on today, he has always been so media friendly.
Yep.
And very gracious, very honest, very forthright. My thing is, man, if you lose, be available when you lose too.
Right.
You know, some guys are available when they win, and then when they lose, you can't find them.
Right.
But man, he's available win, lose, or draw, and I appreciate that about him.
Wayne Box Miller, y'all. This is a good brother. This is my friend. This is my frat. I mean, man, we go way back, man. Since my days at WBLZ.
Yeah.
IGF, man. Box, tell everybody where they can find you, follow you, and check out all the great stuff you're doing on the Cincinnati Radio Network.
We follow me on Twitter, IG. Wayne Box Miller is my handle for everything. Facebook, LinkedIn. I try to keep people informed and updated on all things Bengals, and I always like to post quotes. I always like to do something gratitude based, man. So we appreciate it, man. Again, shout out to the bros down there, man. Cap Alpha Psi, I'm coming up on that white jacket, baby. So
that's all right.
I'll be a few more years and get that blazer ready.
Well, brother, we got a frat. He and I do the HBCU stroll on Mondays, Coach Johnny Cole. So we're repping it for the frat down here, man. Just stay safe up there, man, and keep up the great work. Wayne, we appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. And shout out. God bless everybody, man.
All right. God bless you, too.
Okay.
Wayne Box Miller. Y'all got to check him out on the Cincinnati Bengals Radio Network. He does pregame, halftime, and postgame. And he is a good brother. Let me take a break. I'll come back. We'll wrap it up right after this for this hour on the lunch break.
Timeshare owners, are you dissatisfied with your timeshare? Tired of the financial burden? Were you misled by the salesperson? Don't want or can't use your timeshare anymore? Then you may qualify for timeshare cancellation. Timeshare Defense Attorneys is the #1 affordable fixed fee legal solution in the country with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Our experienced lawyers will evaluate your case, and if we take you on as a client, we will work on your case until it's solved in your favor. That's our 100% satisfaction guarantee. One of our lawyers will keep you informed in the process, all while protecting your rights, interest, and even your credit. Get the relief you need now from the burden of your timeshare. Call now for a free consultation. And don't forget to ask about our stimulus discount program. Call 800-303-4764. 800-303-4764. That's 800-303-4764.
Hi, this is Candace Houston. Tune into my new radio show called Candid Plug. Every Saturday from noon to 1, we will have engaging conversations on current events, topics that affect the community, and religion. Join me each Saturday from noon to 1 for my new show called Candid Plug, where you plus me equals us, right here on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and streaming live on KYOKradio.org.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Come on, you watch the news. Be prepared to pay more taxes. Then if you owe back taxes or haven't filed in a few years, get ready. The IRS, the largest collection agency in the world, will be coming after you with the power to collect taxes by any means they want to. Hey, they can freeze your bank account, your passport, even padlock your business. Oh, good times. Look, if the IRS claims you owe them $5,000 or more in back taxes and they're coming after you, don't panic. Call my friends at Get a Tax Lawyer first. Their job is to negotiate with the IRS and save you money. They're experts at it. That's all they do. And you can trust them. In some cases, they have reduced a $50,000 tax bill to less than $1,000. If you owe the IRS $5,000 or more in back taxes, call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-649-8617. 800-649-8617. 800-649-8617. That's 800-649-8617. Attention, those of you looking to go on a fun vacation and see the world on the cheap. Today, the U.S. dollar is worth even more in other countries, so there's never been a better time to travel outside the USA. The dollar is worth over $1.30 in Canadian dollars, and it's the same for Australia. You can fly there today and have fun and maximize your travel dollar. Your US dollar is worth over $3 in Brazilian reals, and it's worth over $18 in Mexican pesos. Plus, in Argentina, it's worth over $27 in Argentine pesos. Just think of the bargains you'll get. And the way you get the cheapest airfare to any destination is by calling Tickets That Cheap. Save up to 75% on your foreign vacation tickets. Don't wait. Call now. 802-317-1983. 802-317-1983. 802-317-1983. That's 802-317-1983.
This is Jamie from Baytown listening to AJ on the lunch break.
Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate you. Be safe out there, young lady. And we are back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Roku. Courtesy of this man I'm just shouting out to, BS3 Network. If you got a Roku streaming device, just look for BS3 TV. Download it. Great show. Great show. They got a new marriage talk show, and I love it. You know, I need all the help I can get, and that show goes hard. And then, of course, they got the lunch break. So y'all check it out, BS3 TV on your Roku streaming device. Glad that my frat brother could come on the show, man. I'm serious. Y'all don't understand the energy and the excitement that's up in Cincinnati. This is as big as when the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James brought home the chip to the Ohio Valley area. That whole area. Cleveland Browns never did it. Cincinnati Bengals never did it. The Cincinnati Royals basketball team never did it. The baseball team did it, the Reds. Did the Cleveland Indians win one? I know that's not their name now. What's the Cleveland name now that they're not the anyway, did they win a World Series? So this is big. This is huge. And if they win it, it's gonna go down like that. There's probably one area up there that is not gonna celebrate the Bengals winning it if they win, and that's Cleveland. Let me show you how Willie Gibson's a hater. Willie Gibson is a hater, y'all. He my brother. He like my little brother, but he a hater. Wayne Box Miller, my frat brother, talked about all the teams that the Bengals beat twice this year. Willie gonna text me, lost to the Cleveland Browns twice. You know what I had to call him? Hater. Hater. The Bengals are balling. The Bengals are balling. So like I said, there's probably one team, one region, one city in that region that won't be happy if the Bengals win it. And that'll be Cleveland. But Akron, Youngstown, Pickerington, Columbus, Dayton, Mason, Northern Kentucky, for Christ's sake. They'll be happy. I'm serious, man. I'm trying to find a reason not to rock with the Bengals on because I don't want to be a homer. I don't want to be a homer. But I keep asking myself the question, when can you count Cincinnati out? They've shown that they can come back from a deficit. They've shown that they can overcome adversity. They've shown that they pick each other up as a team. If they lose, it ain't going to be because of effort and disunity. You see who this is. Hello, you live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's Clarence.
Hey, Clarence, how you doing, man?
I'm good, yeah, I'm good.
Hey, man, tell your coach to get out of Brian Flores' stuff, man. Your coach all in Brian Flores' business.
Well, he found a reason where he can step out and see what really been happening. So,
now, I need him focused on Grambling State Tiger football. Like, if you ain't talking about your first opponent and the upcoming schedule, I don't want to hear about getting paid to lose up in Cleveland, bro. I need Hugh to be quiet on that.
He already been talking, sir. He already planning on getting all of these scholarship players. That's little money coming in. You know, you can't ask for no more than that. Them kids don't really step up now.
Yeah, and I think you're right, man. I hope Grambling does well this year. I'm trying to look at their schedule now, see what they got going on.
But back to that Cincinnati. Why is nobody talking about the heartbeat of that team?
Wait, say it again. Why is nobody talking about?
Why is nobody talking about the heartbeat on that team?
Who's the heartbeat on that team?
That Hopkins kid. He came from Texas and Longhorn Chief ain't saying nothing. He's right out of goddamn North Shore High School.
You better come through. Wait a minute, hold on. Now you got me finna look that up. Now I ain't know they was rocking like that, man. What you talking about?
On that team, and he'd have been all over that line when Coach Lewis was there, and Coach Lewis kept him around, and when he put him over there at center, that team been shining. The only losses they really had when he wasn't playing.
Man, you better come on through. I'm looking at Trey Hopkins, 6'3", 316 pounds, born right here in Houston, Texas, and you're right, North Shore High School. It's his 6th season in the league. They better get that man some love. Trey Hopkins.
I'm telling you, and then he got his degree where when he gets finished, he can get his doctorate.
Man, you better come through. I love stuff like that, man. I love stuff like that. Clarence, you always come through with and seal the deal. That's good stuff right there, Clarence.
I've been knowing that family for 40 years.
Well, you know what you're gonna have to do now. I'm not trying to beg on air, but if you reach out to them after they win the Super Bowl and see if we can't get them to at least call in and shout on the phone.
I was already thinking about that, sir.
Oh man, I tell you that would just. And again, man, I love North Shore High School. I love that those kids just all they do is win, man. They competitive, they win, and him coming out of that program, and like you said, going to UT and then doing what he's doing up there right now, we need to be supporting our own, man. We've got to be lifting him up.
You know, the couple of losses that they had before they got back to winning, he was out. He was out. Check it out. He was out of that lineup. He was hurt.
Well, all I know is Pittsburgh had the same kind of deal with that Pouncey brother. Whenever that Pouncey brother wasn't in the middle of that line, they were a whole different squad. So I believe everything you say.
Yes, sir. But I've been sitting and listening. Your show been great. Your show's been great. Except for the one day you didn't show up. But I'm gonna keep it great.
Man, I tell you what, that cold had me flat on my back, brother. I was hoping it wasn't COVID, and it wasn't. So I'm glad to be back up on top.
Well, that's good. My concern was, when you was out and then they had all that stuff about the farm threats at the HBCU. I figured you was down there checking on your daughter.
Yeah, well, she hadn't gone down there yet, and if they don't get that figured out, I'm a homeschooler for college if they can't get that figured out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Clarence, I appreciate you, brother. You be safe out there in the weather this next couple of days, okay?
Yeah, I know. I got to go to Austin next week.
All right, man. We'll be praying for you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, Clarence, always a good call. That's a good brother, man. He going to mess around and be caller of the year for 2022. He makes calls like that. He got me looking at Trey Hopkins now. I like it. All right, let me see if I got time to get Sybil Wilkes on with what you need to know. No, I'm not going to be able to get her on. Let me do birthdays real quick. And then we will we'll do Sybil Wilkes after the top of the hour. Birthdays real quick. We got some real good birthdays today. In fact, I could just jump to the celebrity birthdays and just wrap it up. But no, we're going to do it. We're going to do it the right way. People love hearing about their birthdays on the show. So let me do this now. Happy birthday to the following people. Happy birthday to Shalette Busby. Rodney Finch is celebrating a birthday today. Ricky Sigui is celebrating her birthday. She's 53. Christine Chavis is celebrating her birthday. And then Florence Isabor, Joyce Foster, Kathy Kelly, Brian Castle, my former program director in in Cincinnati, Ohio at WBLZ is celebrating his birthday today. And again, Brian, happy birthday to you. All right, real quick, let me go to the celebrity birthdays because there's some good ones. Fran Tarkington, former quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, 1940, was born in Richmond, Virginia. Bob Greasy, last quarterback to go undefeated through the Super Bowl, New England. Bob Greasy, born in 1945. Kerry Von Erich, the wrestler, was born on this day in 1960. He passed away in 1993. Vlade Divac. Vlade used to play with the Lakers, born in 1968. Terry Bradshaw, the quarterback that's so dumb, he couldn't spell cat if you spotted him, the A and the T. All right, and then Charles W. Fullis. He was called the Black Cyclone, and he was the first black professional American football player. He played for the Shelby Blues of the Ohio League in 1902.
1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, at 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
All right, y'all. It's Throwback Thursday here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Let me get Usher to sing happy birthday to these folks out here. Happy birthday and happy anniversary.
Oh, go shawty, it's your birthday. Ooh, it's your birthday. Go shawty, it's your birthday. Today's your day. Happy birthday to you.
All right, let's get Sybil Wilkes on with what you need to know today. Here's Sybil Wilkes.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Thursday, or, I like to call it Friday Eve, February 3rd, 2022. Number 1, more than a dozen historically black colleges and universities closed campus Tuesday or canceled classes due to bomb threats on the first day of Black History Month. This was the second day this week and third in the past month that several HBCUs received such threats. House Homeland Security Chair Congressman Benny Thompson said in a statement Tuesday night that he was briefed by the FBI on a plan to apprehend those responsible for this violent threat. Number 2, Republican Winsome Sears made history in Virginia by becoming the first black woman to hold statewide office when she was sworn in as lieutenant governor alongside Governor Republican Glenn Youngkin. Sears will preside over the state Senate and cast tie-breaking votes that could prove decisive on her political priorities, including restricting abortion and adding new charter schools. Sears says her main focus in office will be education by trying to add school vouchers and create charter schools. Number 3, the FDA could expand use of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine to children ages 6 months to 5 years by the end of this month, February. Federal regulators want to begin reviewing the data on 2 doses of the vaccine for this age group, while the companies continue to gather data on a potential 3-dose regimen. The FDA's plan may come as a relief to parents wanting to get their young children vaccinated. Number 4, Ken Harris, a vegan and yogi who grew up in Detroit, created the International Detroit Black Expo, one of the nation's largest showcases for black businesses. Harris is now the president and CEO of the National Business League, or NBL, the nation's oldest and largest black business trade organization. Mr. Harris's focus is to boost black businesses in Detroit and believes wealth for black entrepreneurs and businesses begin with health and self-care. Number 5, Queen Afua is a New York Times best-selling author, holistic health practitioner, and wellness coach, as well as a pioneer in the green foods movement. She's devoted her life to fighting diseases by teaching people how to understand and utilize the power of food, self-care, and holistic healthy choices as an empowering lifestyle. Read more about her in today's newsletter, contributed by the great Ward White. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Remember to laugh. If you can't laugh, smile. Happiness is within you. So rediscover it and choose life. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with best-selling author and second-generation holistic health practitioner Supernova Slam. He is the son of Queen Afua as we discuss checking in and checking up for your health. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the American Heart Association. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, thank you very much there, Sybil Wilkes, for what you need to know. And this is our Throwback Thursday here on the lunch break. I want to thank, again, Wayne Box Miller. He does pre, halftime, and post-game show with the Cincinnati Bengals radio network, and just a good brother. I mean, just a good brother. Appreciate him making the time in hour number one. Hour number two, of course, is going to be Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. Let's see. Willie Gibson, 1948. The Guardians. That's right, Cleveland Guardians, and they won back in 1948. So Big Red Machine won. The former Cleveland team won. The Cleveland Cavaliers won. That's it. That's that whole region. That's it. So if the Bengals can win this one, man, it's gonna be on and popping. All right, without further ado, let me get this dude's music. I ain't had his music right in the last several opportunities. Let me treat him right today. Without further ado, it's this dude right here. Tall, light skin. He can sing. He know basketball like nobody else's business. He say he can cook too. He said he can bake. Got these ladies going crazy over that mac and cheese and cookies. It's Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. What it do, Kris? How are you, man?
That's a great intro, man. It's more cookies and mac and cheese lately, but and the mac and cheese lady, she lost her privileges. So moving on, but it's all good, man. How you doing?
You better than me, man. I'd hold on to that one until she won't let me hold on to it no more, bro.
She made her choice.
I see you got that cutoff gene. I don't have that. You can cut them off and be done. I'll be like, baby, you sure you don't want to work it out one more time?
Nope. Been there, done that. Next.
Kris, have you ever been married?
No. Goodness, no.
All right.
No,
that's
sir.
Okay. I've been married enough for the both of us, bro. I've been married enough for the both.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Appreciate
some of your bad relationships on me.
So yeah, I live my life the best way I can now.
Well, brother, I tell you what, man. I was a little on fire last night. I wasn't happy.
Why is that?
Because I don't want to talk about that NCAA no more. That made me mad. I ain't wasting time on my show fooling with them. But hey, man, U of H is really good, bro. I mean, this just in the U of H Cougars
men's team.
Well, the women's team got to win too.
Last night they snapped a 6-game losing streak. Right.
All right, let's give them some love. Give them some love.
I put it out there. It means part of what I do. So yeah, win the losses. News is news.
But the men's team beat my Alma Mater Tulane, and I got to tell you, I looked at their record. What are they? 16-2?
19-2, brother.
19-2.
8-0 in the conference.
Kris, they good.
It could be better if they were healthier. Yeah. Yep.
Are people sleeping on the Cougars? I mean, like they slowly but surely just inching up. They're in the top 6.
They're sleeping on them mainly because of the injuries/surgeries to Marcus Sasser and Tremont Marks. So that's their top leading scorer and their third leading scorer. And they're not coming back for this season. So that their national title possibilities are slimmer. The margin for error is really slim because they don't have the depth in the backcourt.
Yeah.
But it's not a 7-game series, man. Just
win one and done.
That's
you just got to beat them one time.
That's all you got to do. So they could do it.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening because of matchups, things like that. But if this team made it to the Sweet 16 this year, I think it'd be a success. Everybody's healthy next year, brother, fans, family. I'm telling y'all, got a 5-star and Jarris Walker coming in next year, 2 4-stars, and Terrence Arsenault and Emmanuel Sharp, plus guys coming back healthy next year.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be something, man? I'll put it in the universe. The Houston Cougars playing in the Final Four in H-Town next year.
Hey, man, whatever I didn't do to get approved this year, we got to figure that out next year, bro, because I ain't taking no for an answer. Look, I'm glad I sent you the message because I was about to go off. But anyway, let me stay focused. Number 1 team in the country right now, Auburn, 21-1.
And they're really good. They're really good. Yeah.
Better than most folks expected. Gonzaga has gotten back up there where they belong. They're at number 2, 17-2. UCLA. Number 3, 16-2. Purdue, they're number 4, 19-3. The Wildcats, anybody coached by Calipari, I don't want them to be good. I don't want them to be good. I'm sorry.
Why is that?
That dude, brother, come on, man.
Did he take your milk money?
No, that dude right there, man. They don't even try to investigate him no more. You know he ain't doing nothing right.
Oh, are you going back on his past at UMass and
everything?
And
everywhere he been, they done had to check into him. So anyway, I'm gonna leave him alone.
And the revoked Final Four appearances wherever he's been.
Everywhere. And then at number 6, you got U of H at 19-2. Arizona 17-2. Baylor at number 8, Duke number 9, and Kansas, same thing I said about Calipari, I said about Bill Self. That's your top 10 right there.
Yeah, U of H is right there. Those are old school blue blood programs.
Yeah.
And new school blue blood programs, because I consider Gonzaga a new school. I mean, Coach Few's done a great job for 20 years. So I think they're blue blood now. And I think U of H men's basketball is on its way to being part of that new school blue blood program. Or I forgot how they phrased it. It'll come to me because Justin Gorham last year said it. They're not a blue blood. They're something, hardworking team. It'll come to me because it was a great phrase how he put it.
Did he say blue collar?
That's it. We're not a blue blood. We're blue collar. That's it.
There you go. Yeah, I like it.
Yep.
I like it. I like it. I can rock with that. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining me here on the lunch break. Man, I like what I see out of this Cougs team. All right, let's get to that game that Keith Hennig and Longhorn Keith and Todd, they done gone missing in action. Keith Hennig has been right here. I can't be mad at him. But, boy, UT walked into that arena in Lubbock, and before they got off the bus, they were in trouble.
The student body for Texas Tech greeted the Longhorns bus personnel, had a few colorful words for them, and expressed themselves and how they felt about Chris Beard leaving to go back to his alma mater. And the way he left wasn't great either. But it was great to see the building packed.
Yeah.
And, Longhorns are spending, they were packed to see us. No, they were packed to boo Chris Beard. That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
And it goes to show you, because the Longhorns had a great crowd a few days ago, last Saturday against Tennessee. One of their first sellouts for basketball, because Longhorn basketball, that's not a thing. It's not like Longhorn football.
Yep.
So it was great to see there as well. I'm a basketball guy. I want to see a building packed for basketball, period. At Fertitta Center, HPE, at Rice, Sharp Gym, all over it. Baby Dome, all over. That's what I like. That's what I love to see.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen enough for me. And Texas Tech had something for the Longhorns. And they just kept them at arm's length almost the whole second half by double digits. And they won by, 13, 77-64. So, yeah.
That was the thing that I liked. It wasn't that emotional adrenaline. You survived that first wave, and then now it's back to business as usual. I think UT cut it to 3, and then Texas Tech started pulling off. Next, they were up by 6, and then by 9, then by 12, and then they were back and forth from there. And that Texas Tech team showed that, listen, you might be gone, but we're not trash. We're not your little brother. We're not your stepchildren. We are the team in the Big 12 to beat. And, aside from Kansas and Baylor, Texas Tech has got to be that number 3 team.
Well, Texas Tech, them and the Longhorns, which team made the Final Four most recently? Okay. Did you notice during the broadcast, I'm not sure which guy said it during the broadcast, but the announcer made the point or mentioned what I've said a few times on here with you about the transfers coming from losing programs,
right,
and not winning programs like the Raiders Texas Tech got, Coach Mark Adams got. There's a difference.
Exactly.
There is a difference.
Yeah, Texas Tech got guys from the transfer portal and other places that were at winning programs, and you see the difference. You definitely see the difference. Real quick, I'm looking at these Big 12 standings right now. Kansas number 1, Baylor number 2, and there it is, Texas Tech number 3.
And just imagine in 18 months or so, the Houston Cougars will be in the Big 12, playing men's basketball. Houston versus Kansas, Houston versus Baylor, Houston versus Texas Tech. Boy, I'm looking forward to that, man. Man.
All I'm going to say is you got one job. You beat Texas and you beat Kansas every time you play them like they stole something.
Well, but you're assuming that the Longhorns will be in their conference that year or two before they leave for the SEC. It would be nice. That's what everything's pointing to because of the money. They're saying it all for political reasons right now. I'll believe when I see it.
Yeah.
But if it does happen, oh yes.
Yeah.
Those 2 times U of H played Texas, I'll have on my U of H alumni hat, not my credential program, because I'm ready to smack that behind. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me take a break. When we come back, I said that this was going to be a rough ride for Texas. They beat number 18 Tennessee by a point. They lost to number 14 Tech by 13. Up next, Saturday, they host number 20 Iowa, and then they
Iowa State,
right? And then they host number 10 Kansas, and then at number 8 Baylor. We'll talk about that when we come back. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, right here on the lunch break.
Eliminate your interest rates. Cut your monthly payment up to 50% and stop all late fees. Our company has been helping good people just like you get out of debt for over 30 years. Don't get stressed out. If you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt and medical bills, we can show you a way to reduce all of your bills to one lower monthly payment that you can afford. So again, if you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt and medical bills you can't afford, make this free call today and learn how you can finally get out of debt. Call now for your free consultation. 800-638-7112. 800-638-7112. 800-638-7112. That's 800-638-7112. Sponsored by Credit Card.
How is your car payment treating you? What if I told you
Bad.
you could make a free phone call right now and reduce your car payment by as much as $83 a month? Look at your car payment closely. You could be paying as high as 20% interest. Rate Genius can help you reduce your car payments by reducing your interest rate to as low as 2.48% APR. We can refinance most existing car loans or leased cars, new or used, and save you money every month. Put more money back in your pocket. The call is free to find out how low we can lower your car payment. 5 minutes of your time right now could save you hundreds of dollars a year. Call Rate Genius now.
800-811-4169. 800-811-4169. 800-811-4169. That's 800-811-4169.
No applicants qualify for a loan or rate savings. Actual offer terms, including APR, are determined at the time of your application based on creditworthiness, value of the vehicle, loan term, and other factors.
KYOK, 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
What's up, everybody? This is Jonathan Nelson, and you're listening to The Lunch Break with AJ.
Thank you, Jonathan Nelson, right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. Streaming live, KYOKradio.org, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Roku. And we got the man, Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. So we talked about that remaining schedule. Longhorn Keith, he's probably one of the most objective Longhorn fans out there. He said he thought that they would win 2 of those games. They've got 1. I think that Iowa State game is very winnable. I think they'll have problems with Kansas, and I know Baylor wants to get them.
Agreed. Yeah. I had them winning 2 of the 5, and Tennessee, the home games, I think pretty much Tennessee and Iowa State were the ones I were counting on. But I think they could beat Iowa State. Kansas, Coach Self, the players are playing better for him. They got one of the, you don't want to hear it, but the Jayhawks, some way, somehow, always rise to the top in the Big 12, and they're doing it again this year.
I'm going to start talking about Coach Bill Self and Coach Calipari like Lane Kiffin is talking about UT and A&M. The money that they're paying those players to come to Kansas and Kentucky, it's hard to compete with that, man. The money that Bill Self and John Calipari are paying them players to come to Kentucky and Kansas, it's hard to compete with that, man. They got that money. They blue blood, brother. They got deep pockets.
I'm not saying you're wrong. And now with the NIL, it's above the table, hopefully. So, yeah.
That's why I say, man, I wasn't as worried about NIL as everybody else was because folks been paying them all the time anyway. So now they can legally pay them. So there we go.
Real quick, when you have time, pull it up on Messenger. I sent you a video of Coach Kelvin Sampson with his comments about e-racism. So it's e-racism, but the platform is e-racism.
Okay.
ERACISM. And he also talks about the secret game between Duke and North Carolina Central, coached by John McClendon back in 1944. So some folks, it's called a secret game because that's what it was. It was a secret that between an all-black NC Central and all-white Duke got together to play a game in, I think, Durham. And because there were two top teams, and they kept it a secret. It's on a Sunday. It's a history behind it. I think Ralph Cooper told me about it 10 years ago or so, because I had no idea about it until he told me about it.
Yeah.
And now I've done more about it, learned more about it. And each year, the organization E-Racism, which Coach Sampson and one of your favorite coaches, Kris Beard, is on the board for it. And check this out, brother, because after the game, part of what I do, is post the videos, post game on my channel. I sent those comments to the director of the organization. And so I do it every year because the game now is called, each coach and the staff players wear shirts called "This Game Is Not a Secret," to reference a secret game from 44.
Mm-hmm.
I sent her the clip from last year. Coach Sampson he's passionate about this and passionate about, you got to watch it because some folks are in the dark, choose to be in the dark about racism, thinking it's over and all kind of stuff. And we've seen examples just this week.
Right.
That's not the case.
Yep.
So he's using his platform to discuss it. But I, Christopher Morris Gardner, was asked if I wanted to be part of the committee.
Brother, I love when good things like that happen to good brothers. I do. And you said yes, right?
I sure did.
Okay, I was getting ready to give you time to get your thoughts together for the very next day. So, brother, that's outstanding, man. I love stuff like that.
Appreciate it, man. She emailed me last night after she replied to what I sent her, the clip I sent her, and she asked me if I would be on the committee. Of course, man, no question. Be my honor. So yes. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to whatever that entails and duties that entails, and keep pressing forward.
Yeah. Racism is over in what world? In the world between a lot of people's ears. There's a lady up here in Houston, in Katy, that wanted Michelle Obama's book taken off of the shelves in the Katy Independent School District libraries because she said it made Trump look like a bully and it makes little white girls feel bad about themselves. And I got no time. I got no energy for those kind of people. I don't. And that's why I say I don't believe anybody when they tell me their wonderful history. I don't believe it anymore. I'm sorry. Call me woke, call me whatever you want to call me. But y'all lie. Y'all lie. Y'all have lied for years. Y'all have whitewashed other people's history to make yours look superior. And I just don't believe you. I just don't. And I'm just sick and tired of this generation of people who want to put other people down so you can make yourself look good. Life is not fair, fun play soccer. Everybody does not get a ribbon. Everybody does not get a participation award. If your history is shameful, if your history is sad, just don't repeat it. Be better than your history. But you're not gonna make me feel less than so you can feel more than. I'm sorry. I'm not doing. And that ain't Black history talk. That's real talk.
Right. And I just want to toss it out there. How many of the family, the lunch break family, knew about the secret game?
Yeah, I know I didn't. I knew about the Texas Wesleyan UK Wildcats game. I knew about that. Growing up in the Midwest and being a UK fan, I knew about that. But I did not know about the secret game with Duke and North Carolina Central.
See, and see, that's history.
Yeah.
That's American history.
Right.
But for too long, so many people in authority wanted to keep that a secret.
Right.
Why? What are you afraid of? Let me set a great point. Just because it was your history, your ancestors, you ain't got to repeat it. You ain't got to repeat.
Right. Be better than that.
Be better than that.
If that's not you, if you're not associated with that any kind of way, then don't get rid of it for those folks who like to hang on to their Confederate statues and war heroes and all that. Don't get rid of it. Just be better than it.
Yeah. Acknowledge that it happened and don't repeat it.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking.
Right.
That's all we're asking, is to not put it under the rug and
Right.
act like it never happened.
Yeah, stop whitewashing it, man.
Yes.
Listen, we got to take another break. When we come back, let's talk about them Rockets. They beat a pretty good Cleveland team, but Cleveland was without two of their starters. We'll be right back. Kris Gardner right after this on the lunch break.
Pastors, beware. You have the right to remain silent, and you better make sure you do.
Trustee, the IRS can take your church and personal bank account if you're not in compliance. There are new IRS laws regulating pastor appreciation and anniversary love offerings. The Clergy Tax and Law Seminar is coming to Houston Wednesday, February 9th at the Doubletree Hobby Airport. A special DVD is available for free if you call right now, 800-344-0076. That's 800-344-0076. You must attend this Clergy Tax and Law Conference. Call now, 800-344-0076. That's 800-344-0076, or go to cmtc.org. Dr. Michael Chitwood is coming to help you. Call now, 800-344-0076. That's 800-344-0076. God cannot bless a mess. Get your house in order.
Are you looking to start a business? From side hustles to major business opportunity? Franchise 123 connects franchise buyers with sellers. And we have over 4,000 franchises for you to choose from. In one simple 30-second call, our live agents will sign you up to the platform. This is not a hard sales call either. We give you free access to our database. Yes, free access, no cost. We are the largest online franchise database in the world. You can find 95% of all businesses. Buying a franchise doesn't have to be complicated. We make it easy, and right now, some have no startup fees. You can turn your special skill into a franchise business, or go full scale with all the top franchise businesses in the world. Sign up with Franchise 123 now and get your free guide to franchise success now. Call 800-419-5344, 800-419-5344, or text Franchise 123 to 63566. Text Franchise 123 to 63566.
The legendary KYOK 1140
Ooh,
AM.
man.
The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio station to the one.
Talk with your boy, T.D. Blackshear, every
All right, one more
Tuesday
promo.
from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there. Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation and a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 a.m. and the all-new 92.3 FM at KYOKradio.org.
This is Lakeisha, and you're listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
Thank you very much there, Lakeisha. It's Throwback Thursday. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us on the show. Rockets ended their four-game losing streak with a 115-104 win over Cleveland last night. Jalen Green, Christian Wood, 21 each in the win. Your thoughts?
It's a much-needed win. They snapped I think 11-game home losing streak, which post-game Coach Silas said he wrote, and the players talked about it as well. Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, and Christian Wood said that Coach Silas wrote on the board the date, the opponent, and he listed them and asked the guys, what is this list? And the players like, wow, that's all our home losses, since December. And he said, yep. And the players took it upon themselves to end that streak last night. Willie Gibson, yes, Darius Garland did not play and all those things, but Rockets can't be picky.
Yeah,
a win is a win.
A win is a win is a win, however they get them right now. I love it. Yeah. Now they need it.
It still counts.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a star beside it saying, well, so-and-so didn't play, whatever. It still counts as a W.
Yeah. Yeah, so they go to San Antonio tomorrow at 7:30. The Spurs going to host Miami tonight at 7:30. The Spurs and the Rockets are closer to each other than they really want to admit, but, in different ways. So which of those two teams do you think comes out on top tomorrow night?
Well, assuming that the Rockets are able to get there, weather permitting, I'm assuming they will because I think they just ended practice probably within the last few minutes. The Rockets seem to have the Spurs number. As long as DeJounte Murray does not erupt in the first quarter and keep it consistent throughout the game, they seem to have the Spurs number.
Yeah.
So I think the Rockets can win tomorrow. This recent 4-game homestand, Rockets only won 1 game. And so that was disappointing to me. I'm not speaking for the players of Coach Silas. Obviously, they want to win. But they had taken steps forward on the recent 5-game road trip.
Mm-hmm.
We saw signs of, getting better on defense. But then to come home and lose, that Spurs game here, 134-104, where was the defense?
Yeah.
So as long as they don't play like they did at home against the Spurs and play like they did in the road against the Spurs, they can win Friday.
The Rockets defense has been bothering me, bro. The Rockets defense has been offensive to me, and that's the part I can't quite figure out, man. Why is this defense so bad?
Effort, know-how, and really part of it, communication is a constant because they don't talk enough. But also, Christian Wood is not doing a great job against other teams' centers.
Okay.
Other teams have no issue throwing the ball down low to their big man to go against Christian Wood. Christian Wood said it last night. He said it a lot in his time here that he has to do better defending in the post. Yeah, we know that. We've known that for a while.
Yeah. So
do it. Do it. When Jakob Poeltl for the Spurs is out putting up better numbers than you, that's a problem.
Yeah.
No shade on, you could call it shade on Poeltl, but if Christian Wood believes he's so great, then guys like Poeltl cannot be doing better than you in a game, in a head-to-head matchup.
Still in the concussion protocol. I know he had a little observation for a concussion. So
I have to check. I haven't checked today's injury report. The league does a good job. One good thing to do is he updated every hour.
Okay.
So I haven't checked it yet today to see.
Yeah. One thing I think is that the Spurs will be a little bit more fundamentally sound than the Rockets.
No question. But the Spurs also have better ball movement and better player movement. And the Rockets sometimes, when the Rockets offense bogs down, it's because they stand still too much.
Yeah.
Move with a purpose.
Yep. The Mavericks lost to Oklahoma City last night, 120-114. They let Dort go off in the overtime period. I was kind of surprised by that loss. Luka, 40 points, 10 assists in the loss. There's no question that the Mavs are the better team in the state, but it's almost like they blank out every now and then.
Yes.
They're rolling along, doing fine, about to take that next step, and then something goes off.
I'd have to look at their record against teams with losing records this season, because it seems like, just off the top of my head, that they have done a better job against the better teams than they have against the teams with poor records.
Yeah.
And, that's a sign of youth, inexperience, but also taking teams for granted.
Right.
Because they played good defense.
Yeah.
They were playing great defense for a while, but that was against the better teams.
Yeah.
You said OKC scored 120. That's OKC without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Right.
So, that says something right there.
Yeah. What's going on in Brooklyn? Is James Harden on his way out of Brooklyn by the NBA trade deadline because he and Kyrie did not get it done last night?
I don't believe so. I think Harden may find a new address this summer. I doubt a team is going to make a godfather offer to Brooklyn between now and next Thursday to trade Harden to somebody else. Daryl Morey is crossing his fingers and toes that he can get that done in the summertime. But other than that, I don't see it happening right now, and I'm not sure Brooklyn would want to do it. Like I said, it'd have to be a godfather offer for them, something that could not refuse, and that has not been the scuttlebutt around the league so far.
I got to say, Brooklyn is one of the bigger disappointments. And I'm not just coming down on Brooklyn because of Kyrie Irving and his, stance on the vaccine or what have you. But when you look at what that team was supposed to be when Kyrie and Durant both decided to go to Brooklyn, and then they got James Harden. A lot of folks said this is destined for failure because they're not going to be able to work well together. I didn't believe that. I thought that they were going to be the dominant force in the East, and that just has not been the case.
Come on, bro. It has to a point, and then they got hurt. They got hurt. I mean, they pushed the Bucks to 7 games and were close to beat the Bucks, in the playoffs. If we're fifth, I know all those things, but the defense is not good. Let's just be clear. Their defense is not good. They try to outscore people, just light them up on offense. Injuries are part of it. The vaccine with Kyrie is part of it. Joe Harris been out. KD's been injured. James Harden now with a hand issue. Kyrie can only play on the road. So all those issues, and plus the Nets brought that on themselves by bringing Kyrie back because they were doing okay without Kyrie.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because
Mills had stepped his game up, and now just that little adjustment in his minutes has changed Patty Mills.
Yeah. Because the Nets management, they blinked and were like, I know we said we're going to stand by our principles, and then, well, maybe it's this our only chance to win a championship. Okay, well, we'll let Kyrie come back on the road.
Yeah.
Well, that messed up the whole rotation then. So,
Let me just poke this bear. How much of this is coaching? How much of this is Steve Nash?
Part of it.
Okay. All right. Kind of speak on that a little bit.
I mean, and Steve Nash proved it's showing that just because you're a great player in the pros does not mean you're just going to, in the blink of an eye, become a great coach.
Right.
I mean, this is his second year as a head coach in the NBA. It takes time to learn how to coach pro players.
Yep.
It takes time to learn that these guys are not the same like you were when you played.
Yep.
The game is different. You got to adjust to different things. And his staff is a little bit different. D'Antoni's no longer on the staff this season. So that's an adjustment. So it's hard. Just, and I could go into another tangent about, you mean having pro experience does not mean you're going to be a great coach? I thought only people who played the game could talk the game. Yeah. I thought only people who played the game could coach the game. Oh, you mean that's not the case? Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
No, I mean, I'm one of the bigger disappointments. I know they're only 2.5 games out, but they're down.
What about the Bucks? Are they a disappointment then?
For some reason, I'm not as disappointed about the Bucks as I am about Brooklyn.
I mean, Lopez been out the whole season with the back, and without him, that defense has a big hole literally in the middle.
Absolutely.
So, they've taken some waxings this season, and I'm going to stick with it. They're my picks come out of the East, but it's kind of wobbling a little bit. But I'm not going to change it. But I think they're going to make a move by the deadline to shore up their defense because I think they need to.
You kind of messed me up though with the whole regular season thing. Not counting as I'm serious, bro. I'm a whole different dude now when it comes to the regular season in the NBA. I'm just a whole different dude. And now that I'm looking at it from a playoff standpoint, my top 4 in the West, I've got the Suns, I've got Golden State, I've got Memphis, and I've got the Mavericks in that Final 4. I think that if Utah and Dallas play best of 7, and it does not matter if Utah's the home team, I got Dallas winning that series.
Well, that says a lot about the West this season. And yes, that is shade on the Mavericks because they're inconsistent. But come playoff time,
4 out of 7.
You're playing another good team, so their issue about struggling against teams with worse records won't be a factor. So.
But now, when we look at the East, I don't see this top 4 being the way it'll be. The Bulls, the Miami Heat, the 76ers, and the Bucks. I don't see that being the Final 4. That Final 4 can be anything from Cleveland to Brooklyn to Milwaukee to Philadelphia. It could be the Bulls, the Heat, 76ers, and it's just so wide open in the East. Like, it is not over for anybody almost in the East.
Yes, and part of that is because of the Bucks' inconsistencies, injuries to Cleveland. No Ricky Rubio, Ben Simmons is gone to Philly. There are issues there. Miami has dealt with injuries this whole season.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil Willie Gibson's shine for folks talking sports at 8 Eastern.
Right.
But Rajon Rondo has not been the dude that they thought he was. He hadn't been that dude that they could rely on for a lot of minutes.
Right, and that's not a surprise to me. I mean, he really is a system player now. He's got to be in the right system for his skill set, and I'm not sure the Cavs. Well, I mean, clearly, I think the Cavs' offense is not suited for him. So,
okay. But I just hope he doesn't mess up that chemistry. And
so far, he hasn't.
Yeah.
He has been known to do so.
And I'm going to be a Rajon apologist real quick, man. A lot of folks like to put all the blame on Rajon. But here's the thing. If I stick my foot in a size 10 shoe, my feet are going to hurt.
Right.
Nobody made me put on that size 10. I don't care how good the shoe looks. If I put my foot in a size 10, that's on me. They brought Rajon in. He doesn't fit the system. They can't get the minutes out of him. That ain't on Rajon. That's on them.
Right. And before you go to break, I'm going to try to do something different tonight and tomorrow. I'm going to do 2 folks talking sports. Tonight, it's going to be me and Mr. Gibson, just us.
Okay.
Because the youngsters are busy until tomorrow. So I'll be on with Andy Yanez and James Mueller tomorrow. And my sister, Cheryl Coward, was going to try to get on. I tried to get on last week. She's once again busy tonight, so I might get her on tomorrow. But as we talked about weather, Coach Huey might be able to join us tonight's show, but the team is stuck in Tulsa because of the weather.
Oh, wow. Listen, I'm going to start calling you like the Portland Trailblazers and the other teams that said that they were interviewing Becky Hammond. You just calling that woman's name. You ain't going to get her on your show, bro. You ain't going to get her on your show.
I texted her yesterday. She said, Chris, I forgot. And I was like, but she's also dealing with some health issues too. So she has some doctor's appointments today.
I'm going to give you one more chance,
so
bro.
I said, okay.
One more chance. And then I'm going to start calling you the Washington Commanders. I'll be right back right after this with Kris Gardner. We'll wrap it up after this on the lunch break.
Tune into my new radio show called Candid Flood every Saturday from noon to 1. We will have engaging conversations on current events, topics that affect the community, and religion. Join me each Saturday from noon to 1 for my new show called Candid Plug, where you plus me equals us, right here on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and streaming live on KYOKradio.org.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Come on, you watch the news. Be prepared to pay more taxes. And if you owe back taxes or haven't filed in a few years, get ready. The IRS, the largest collection agency in the world, will be coming after you with the power to collect taxes by any means they want to. Hey, they can freeze your bank account, your passport, even padlock your business. Oh, good times. Look, if the IRS claims you owe them $5,000 or more in back taxes and they're coming after you, don't panic. Call my friends at Get a Tax Lawyer first. Their job is to negotiate with the IRS and save you money. They're experts at it. That's all they do. And you can trust them. In some cases, they have reduced a $50,000 tax bill to less than $1,000. If you owe the IRS $5,000 or more in back taxes, call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-649-8617. 800-649-8617. 800-649-8617. That's 800-649-8617. Attention. Those of you looking to go on a fun vacation and see the world on the cheap. Today, the U.S. dollar is worth even more in other countries, so there's never been a better time to travel outside the USA. The dollar is worth over $1.30 in Canadian dollars, and it's the same for Australia. You can fly there today and have fun and maximize your travel dollar. Your U.S. dollar is worth over $3 in Brazilian reals, and it's worth over $18 in Mexican pesos. Plus, in Argentina, it's worth over $27 in Argentine pesos. Just think of the bargains you'll get. And the way you get the cheapest airfare to any destination is by calling Tickets That Cheap. Save up to 75% on your foreign vacation tickets. Don't wait. Call now. 802-317-1983. 802-317-1983. 802-317-1983. That's 802-317-1983.
Hi, this is Sade from Bonding and Belfort, and you're listening to The Lunch Break.
Thank you, Sade. We appreciate you. About to wrap it up on Throwback Thursday. Got Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us as always. Kris, it's Black History Month, man. You definitely shared a good one with us about the secret game. That was a good one. What year was that again?
1944.
1944. I was talking about the first black head coach in basketball with all the news about black head coaches dominating the news cycle on the football side. You know, I shared with them that Fritz Pollard was the first black head football coach in the NFL back in 1922. I didn't read further, but in 1926, the NFL segregated, kicked all the black players and all the black coaches out.
Right.
And did not open it up again until after World War II. So when the NFL says that they have a history of inclusion and it's in the fiber of everything, no, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. They, like everything else, had a very real racist past.
Correct.
And after Fritz Pollard, the first black modern era head coach, Art Shell, 1989. 1922 to 1989. Let that sink in for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are in 2022, and we got one black head coach in the NFL. Basketball doesn't have that same problem. Red Auerbach did whatever he had to do to give Bill Russell that chance. He drafted the first black player in the NBA. He got the first black coach in the NBA by retiring, by walking away. What does basketball do differently than other leagues like the NFL, the Major League Baseball, hockey? What do they do differently, in your opinion?
They have owners who realize that putting people of color in positions of power can still help them succeed and make money. So some of this is as simple as that. Some of these old folks, closed-minded folks, are so closed-minded that they don't want to make money if a person of color is helping them make that money. Success is success. Green is green.
Yeah.
You know, have you heard any politicians this week talk about the NFL's issues? Or you have just heard politicians talk about black women aren't qualified to be Supreme Court justices?
Right. Yeah.
As if, apparently, I guess, no black women are Republicans because, you know, I guess they're all Democrats. I know that's not the case, but apparently you're going to make that blanket statement, that ignorant blanket statement, but nothing about the NFL's hiring practice. One, Mike Tomlin, 2022. One, that's it.
You know, what's sad was when the number of black men that got general manager's job this cycle, I said to myself, I didn't say it out loud, I wish I had, then I could claim it, but I said to myself, they're going to shut the black coaches out. They've done all they need to do. So they're going to shut the black coaches out. And apparently that's what's going to happen. I don't see a black coach getting a job in this cycle.
Nor do I. You know, Coach Flores, he might be blackballed. And he said he understands that. But it's bigger than him. And it's not about me, but I'm going to spin it to me. and I think I told you this before, when I went to Big 12 Media Day in Kansas City in October. Let me say this one more time. I'm going to say it twice. When I went to Big 12 Media Day in Kansas City, I was the only person of color there.
Yeah.
2021,
yeah.
I was the only person of color there. Yet, how many black players do you see in the Big 12 playing basketball?
Yeah.
You got a few coaches, I think. Coach Mike Boynton, I know for sure,
Right.
at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Only black person in the media there. Men's basketball, well, women's probably the same thing too. Me. That's it. In 2021. And now it's 22.
Keith Hennick, Leftwich is getting jerked around by the Jaguars. Let them continue to be horrible. Yeah, they're interviewing Doug Peterson again, I think today.
Yep.
You got black general managers all through the NBA. You got black head coaches.
But major college sports, not much better than the NFL.
Right. Yep. And Kris, this is something that I ask myself all the time. How can we affect real change? Not putting Black Lives Matter in the end zone or on the side of the court, not wearing, slogans on our jerseys. I mean, please don't get me wrong. It's a nice gesture. But at the end of the day, nobody looked at that and say, hey, I think I'm going to stop being a racist because Luka's wearing love one another.
Right. But we got to stop going to the games. Stop spending the money on sports that don't love us. And don't hire us to be successful. Don't put us in positions of power to lead their teams, lead their franchises. Stop doing that. Put that money elsewhere. Support KYOK. Support the Houston Roundball Review. Support HBCUs. Support Black-owned businesses. There's other ways out there to show your support and to hit them in the pockets at the same time.
Yeah. I just, man, it blows my mind that this is still the case after all these years. This is still the case. One black owner in the NBA, one.
Yep. I see. And that's the NBA. As forward thinking and some issues that the NBA is compared to other pro sports, it still has problems. One black owner in the NBA, the issues with China and, all that. There's a lot of issues there with China. NBA choosing the dollar over human rights. There's a whole bunch of issues that the NBA can correct. But it's still more progressive, and not being political with that, just progressive, forward thinking, than the other pro leagues, which says a lot about the other pro leagues. And let me just say, we talk about, I want to give my mentees some props. Tamer Knight is once again working the Olympics. She's working the Winter Olympics. So she's, I think, with NBC headquarters, working in the studio with that. Do you know my man, Cody Davis?
Yeah, I know Cody.
Cody's also the media director for the SaberCats. So he's doing this thing as well as covering the Texans and the Rockets. So I'm trying to help out, pay it forward what was given to me. I'm just trying to do my part too.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, Kris, we gotta bring it to a close, man. As always, it's good having you come on and break it down. You got to send us some of that Final Four content because obviously I won't be there covering it with you. But
let me say this though, I'm going to be in Minneapolis for the women's Final Four.
Okay.
I approved for both women and the men.
But you decided on Minneapolis.
Right, Paisley Park, man. I got to go to Paisley Park. So that's my plan. And then next year, Houston's hosting the men's Final Four, and knock on wood, U of H men are going to be in it. Now going forward, I might be just strictly men's Final Four. But yes, I got approved for both. And on that, real talk, me and probably Jerry Woodley might be the only ones who approved, look like us, women's Final Four. Well, and Cheryl Coward too. But yeah, think about that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to having Kim Y. Davis on. I'm trying to get her on tomorrow. But she is one of, if not the very first Black sports broadcast journalist here in Houston.
Correct.
And I'm looking forward to having her on and talking to her about her, because she doesn't get the credit she deserves. You don't get the credit you deserve.
Appreciate it.
No, it's just true. It's just true. And I mean, John McClain, I'm over it. You know, the cat's on 610 and 790, I'm over it. You know, you can roll them in and out. It'd be just the same old, same old, same old. But when you got folks like yourself, Kim Y. Davis, man, we if we don't honor you, nobody else will.
True, and I'm gonna say it again. You gave me a lifeline, brother. 2 years ago, I don't know if you want to call it blackball or whatever, but I wasn't on local radio for quite a while. Then you reached out to me and allowed me to be a regular on the lunch break here every Thursday. And because of you, I got the initiative to do my own streaming shows and met Willie Gibson, and now I'm working with A.D. Moore for his show as well. And you're part of that. So thank you for helping us also. So we're helping each other out.
Well, brother, that's what we got to do. That's what
yes,
we got to
sir.
do. Chris, thank you, man, as always. Tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, my man.
Thank you, my man. As always, I'm Kris Gardner, owner, co-founder of the Houston Roundball Review. Houston Roundball Review on YouTube, Houston Roundball Review on Instagram, Houston Roundball Review on Facebook, Twitter, the HR Review. See the website right there, thehrr.com, as well as HoustonRoundballReview.com. Catch me and Willie Gibson tonight on Folks Talking Sports on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Folks Talk Sports is our Twitter handle for the show. We do another show with the youngsters tomorrow. Indiana and James Mueller from the Cougar, more U of H football recruiting stuff tomorrow. But yes, Folks Talking Sports is getting bigger and bigger. Looking for more sponsors. Let's Talk Houston Rockets, same thing on YouTube channel. Big shows there. Shout out to the fans who tune in for that. Since 1994, brother. 1994. Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective.
I love it, brother. Hey, when Willie comes on tonight, call him a hater for me. Tell him I said he's a hater. All right?
We will do.
All right, man. Kris Gardner. Talk to you soon, brother. Love you.
All right, man. Love you.
All right, y'all. We got to get ready to go. Let me get Sybil Wilkes on with what you need to know. We'll wrap it up after this. Again, as always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Thursday, or, I like to call it Friday Eve, February 3rd, 2022. Number 1, more than a dozen historically Black colleges and universities closed campus Tuesday or canceled classes due to bomb threats on the first day of Black History Month. This was the second day this week and third in the past month that several HBCUs have received such threats. House Homeland Security Chair Congressman Benny Thompson said in a statement Tuesday night that he was briefed by the FBI on a plan to apprehend those responsible for this violent threat. Number 2, Republican Winsome Sears made history in Virginia by becoming the first Black woman to hold statewide office when she was sworn in as Lieutenant Governor alongside Governor Republican Glenn Youngkin. Sears will preside over the state Senate and cast tie-breaking votes that could prove decisive on her political priorities, including restricting abortion and adding new charter schools. Sears says her main focus in office will be education by trying to add school vouchers and create charter schools. Number 3, the FDA could expand use of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine to children ages 6 months to 5 years by the end of this month, February. Federal regulators want to begin reviewing the data on 2 doses of the vaccine for this age group, while the companies continue to gather data on a potential 3-dose regimen. The FDA's plan may come as a relief to parents wanting to get their young children vaccinated. Number 4, Ken Harris, a vegan and yogi who grew up in Detroit, created the International Detroit Black Expo, one of the nation's largest showcases for Black businesses. Harris is now the president and CEO of the National Business League, or NBL, the nation's oldest and largest Black business trade organization. Mr. Harris's focus is to boost Black businesses in Detroit and believes wealth for Black entrepreneurs and businesses begin with health and self-care. Number 5, Queen Afua is a New York Times best-selling author, holistic health practitioner, and wellness coach. as well as a pioneer in the green foods movement. She's devoted her life to fighting diseases by teaching people how to understand and utilize the power of food, self-care, and holistic healthy choices as an empowering lifestyle. Read more about her in today's newsletter, contributed by the great Ward White. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Remember to laugh. If you can't laugh, smile. Happiness is within you, so rediscover it and choose life. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with best-selling author and second-generation holistic health practitioner Supernova Slom. He is the son of Queen Afua as we discuss checking in and checking up for your health.
1140 AM, AYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Really appreciate the guests that we had on today. Kris Gardner, always a good guest. And I want to thank again Wayne Box Miller. Y'all be sure to follow him at Wayne Box Miller on Twitter and Instagram and on LinkedIn. Just a really good dude, very knowledgeable about what he's talking about, what he's doing, been doing it for a long time. So y'all be sure to give him some lunch break love. And, as always, let's not do this. Let's find a way to do this. I love y'all. Weather permitting, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.